Do you know the story of the hourglass?
Tell me.
So legend goes that the sand inside hourglasses comes from a beach where a man once turned up late.
Whose legend?
Listen to me. He misses out on his last chance of being with the love of his life. And now, completely devastated and sorrowful.
Sorrowful?
Sorrowful. What does a man do? He grabs a handful of sand. And as he lets it go, time goes back exactly an hour. He tries it again. Another hour rewinds. This time the sun comes back up a little. And he keeps doing this, hoping to go back and catch her waiting.
Does he?
Yeah.
Do they meet?
No, not really.
Why not?
He's just rewinding the hours, Sarah. That time has passed.
No.
But the man who lost track of time made the hourglass. And this is how he gets to be with her. It's an infinite story.
Are we infinite?
Let's wait. Notes for a movie. A man walks down the street looking for someone. Yeah, that's good. I wanted to use that line for months.
What are you doing over there?
Nothing?
What do you mean, nothing? Why are you sitting there then?
Just smoking a cigarette, that's all.
But you must be thinking about something.
I must have, yeah.
What were you thinking about?
I don't, now that you ask, I don't quite remember. Okay. So a man walks down the street looking for someone. He turns the corner, and there she sits, turning the page on his favorite book. But maybe she's stuck. Or maybe he's stuck. Something has to happen here for the universe to begin. He needs to think of something to say to her. So I need to think of something to say to her. I always thought I'd make films someday, you know? But now I think my real talent lies in just sitting in a cafe and talking to you. What are you up to?
I need to turn this in tomorrow.
I'm thinking of Moonambakam. Where the old man walks into the sea when his grandson gets taken by the ocean. Grandpa would have done that too. And there are days I think about him and feel the same way.
You like it when things affect you deeply. You always do.
Is that a bad thing?
No, it's just your thing.
Because the other side of grief is comfort.
Why does it have to be about grief always?
It's liberating,
It's ego tripping.
maybe. But I'd give everything up to be in one of those stories.
You're in love with fiction.
No. I'm in love with you.
Hopeless.
Hopelessly. I could probably tell you 100 stories about a man walking down the street looking for someone. But they'd all be tragic unless we're together.
Wait, let's just go back to the beginning.
I'm not sure when it started. It's probably when Sarah left. I really had nothing much to do. Was bored all day. Lonely, I guess.
What are you doing over there?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing? Why are you sitting there then?
I'm just smoking a cigarette. That's all.
But you must be thinking about something.
I must have, yeah.
What were you thinking about?
I don't know, now that you ask, I don't quite remember.
You don't have to lie. Who were you thinking about?
Jesus, Sarah. I was enjoying a smoke. I wasn't thinking about anyone.
Of course, you have so many people to smoke about, don't you?
What did you catch me doing? I wasn't thinking about anyone.
That's what. You never have time to think about me.
You could have told her.
Honestly, I didn't think much of it then. You know, it was just a bunch of films. How much can you obsess over a filmmaker?
What really happened?
No, it's just, you're not gonna buy it.
Does it matter?
No. What matters is my version of it. Look at her, for instance. This nun here used to be a lover. Or maybe she's playing a nun who used to be a lover. It's somehow important to know. Look at him flaring up. Maybe he raped his stepdaughter. Maybe he fears I know that. This mother saving that smile for kids who abandoned her on a Monday morning. Or maybe she's just crazy. Who knows? We all need a story to make sense of our lives. I never knew it was going to affect me so much.
What?
I just couldn't stop thinking about his films. Why are you on your own when you're with someone? What do you do when you feel nostalgic for someone who's sitting right next to you? Someone you love. You second guess everything. What would she say here? What would she think here? How would she respond to this? You construct. Like, I wasn't paying attention here. She could have been talking to me from a different city for all I know. A city where people are always staring out their windows, watching the world fall out of love. Her absence was starting to get real. Pretty soon I was watching these films over and over again.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Hi, I just called about a room. Major uncle?
Yeah, I will check for you. You can wait there.
Okay. I started skipping work. Wasn't sleeping or eating much. Couldn't find time for Sarah. It was getting completely out of control.
Why didn't you tell her?
What could I have possibly told her that did not suggest I was completely crazy?
Did you?
No. And I really wanted it to work. So we got away for a while. I thought she'd see where I grew up, we'd spend time together. And everything was going to be okay again.
This is incredible. You grew up here?
Vacations mostly. When Mutashi was around. Grandma.
What was she like?
Total badass.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, she talked to all the birds and cows and named all the trees after her children and grandchildren, so she wouldn't miss anyone. Her imaginary friends. All of them.
Which one's you?
What's your interest in all this?
I don't know. I feel like I know them somehow.
Look, you have some nerve to show up here like this. I'll grant you that, but that's as far as you go.
Why?
Why? I was in a movie with them. And now I'm not. That's it.
They kill themselves here, right? Don't you think about it at all? Come on, you're the only person I can talk to about this.
Look, what do you expect? That's how it was written. They had to die.
So why still run the place?
I'm alive, aren't I? I have to earn a living.
I don't get it. You were written with so much empathy. How can you be so passive about it?
You need to understand that in fiction, we have different ways of grieving. Our sorrows are more appealing in their description. Take the description away, and you're left with reality. That's not really satisfying, is it?
Look, will you just tell me what happened?
Favorite person?
You.
After that.
After what?
After me.
It's nothing after you. That's the whole point.
Do you think we'll ever, like, not be together?
Sarah,
Come on, I know, but say something.
what am I going to do without you?
Look for me if I disappear, okay?
I promise.
Will you come back here and look for traces of this, of us?
There's nothing for me here. Nothing without you. Not even this place.
Favorite movie?
This.
Everything's so still here. We could sit here, skip a few years, and no one would even notice. Like time slowing down.
Yeah, like time slowing down. Funny, I used to feel that way too.
You know, they say that there are planets out there where time slows down.
What a perfect place to fall in love.
So you'll always love me?
Mm-hmm.
And the weather won't make a difference?
Well, it'll help if it rains.
Oi,
Hmm.
did you see this?
What? Do you know what that is? Mom. It's impossible to look at that little girl and imagine she's dead, isn't it? You can't take your eyes off from a photograph because most of the things in it have changed. You keep it because it can never repeat itself. Like this look on your face right now.
What was it like?
I was 11. It was raining outside. Too many faces. Family. Neighbors. Strangers. I saw some people carrying a body out. She was covered by these big black umbrellas. Looked like wild bats to me. Dad just stood there getting wet. It was probably the first time he'd noticed her. That rain was an 11-year-old kid running around, falling down, looking for her everywhere. And I remember thinking, this would make a great film. That's what I want to do. I want to make a film about moments like this. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Is that what you're thinking now? To use this in a film?
I was a father myself. Lost my wife and 2 girls to an accident.
Sorry,
It's okay. You know, she left me this message on the phone that night saying she'd be late. That's the last thing she said to me. So I've been waiting right here. Sometimes they all come back, one by one. Do you understand?
I do. As a matter of fact.
The girls reminded me of my kids, you know. But I couldn't have imagined they'd do something like that in a million years.
Can you stop being dramatic and talk about this?
I'm being dramatic? You should really listen to yourself.
Come on, everyone's got a story, you know?
So what? You just walk up to people and take photos of them?
Yeah, something like that.
But why do you click their pictures?
To remember?
It's not like you'd forget them if you don't.
Okay, well, why do you use a bookmark?
Huh?
Why do you use a bookmark?
To go back to where I stopped reading.
But it's not like you'd forget if you don't use a bookmark.
Yeah, but I want to go to the exact page.
See?
So you prefer a photograph over a memory?
What's the difference, really?
Perspective?
Perspective.
Okay. Take this moment right here. In your memory, you'll remember the both of us. But in a photograph, you'll only see me. Eventually, that'll fade too.
So how are you going to remember this?
How do I look?
Is that a trick question?
No, idiot. How do I look when I look at you?
What do you mean?
I mean, I'll never know how I look when I look at you, right? Think about it. You'd know because you're looking at me. We could even use a mirror, but I'll never know. Not even from one of your photographs, because I'll be looking at your lens. It's almost as if I exist only when you're looking at me.
Wow.
Isn't it? Let's write it down.
Right, keep your eyes on me, okay? What's the weirdest thing that's happened to you?
This. A man walks down the street looking for someone. I like the way it begins.
I don't know, it's a first draft.
It's nice. It's almost like you're looking at him, like a voyeur.
Yeah, like a voyeur.
So if you're writing it in first person, aren't you following yourself, voyeuring yourself?
Works better dramatically, huh?
Is it going to have a happy ending? I'm curious.
That depends.
On what?
Depends on if I'm looking at him with you. I mean, I could probably tell you 100 stories about a man walking down the street looking for someone, right? But they'd all be tragic unless we're together. So, depends on if I'm looking at him with my arms around you. So you're leaving because you think I'm losing my mind.
She considers this and continues to pack. No, I'm leaving because you still don't think so. No, doesn't sound right.
What? What's wrong?
Come on, don't do this. She wouldn't say that to him.
Why not?
Because I like your first ending. She would have done anything to be with him, but it doesn't work out. It's sad, but it's beautiful. Now you're questioning what they have. You're fiddling with the ending.
I'm not questioning anything, Sarah. Look at it this way, all right? We're talking about Lola Milford here. This fatally romantic, manic pixie dream girl from Texas. Almost sick with longing, right? What if he'd stayed with her? What if they'd ended up together? What happens after that? What happens after all the cake and melon? What will survive with them?
Wait. So why did you bring them together? Why do two people chase love if they never really know what to do with it?
Right? Now say it as you're saying it.
Why do we chase love if we never really know what to do with it?
That's what the film's about. Every day begins by looking at her. No. Every day begins by looking for her. Better.
Hello.
How are we doing?
What are you doing?
Taking pictures of you. Click.
You know what the favorite part of my day is? Waking up to you.
I know. Lola explodes at this, as if having waited too long to say something. Look, if you want to indulge your stupid fantasies, go ahead. This is entirely your mess and I...
And I know you're secretly enjoying it. Go on.
She dashes out of the room and... Can you stop that?
What?
That song. I don't want to hear that song.
What song? There's no song playing.
Hey! It's nothing, come on.
Tell her.
You stay away from this.
Just tell me what's going on.
Let me explain.
Tell her that when a Radha walks in, a Clara walks out.
Back off, asshole!
What is going on?
I have something to tell you. Sarah, listen to me. You're overreacting. Can you stop being dramatic and talk about this? Please? You're my favorite person.
Oh, come on. Stop it. You can't change this.
How do you know that?
I'm sorry. This is it, baby. It's going to be over.
No?
Why did you let me go?
Works better dramatically, no?
What happens now?
This is when you say,
I'm being dramatic. You should really listen to yourself.
what does that mean?
There's a thin line between where you are right now and a neurologist. And my bets are on the second.
So you're leaving me because you think I'm losing my mind?
No, I'm leaving you because you still don't think you are.
You don't mean that.
Look, if you want to indulge in your stupid fantasies, go ahead. This is entirely your mess. And I know you're secretly enjoying it.
You're supposed to stand by me, huh?
I'm supposed to? I'm not your platonic fucking idea of a movie character.
Sarah, we can figure this out. Please?
I need some time for myself. Call me when you get real.
It feels like a movie. One moment you're watching from a distance. Next, you're convinced that everything that happened on screen happened to you. The people, the places, the pleasure, the pain, all of it belongs to you. And before you know it, it's the only place you belong. The real problem starts when you're trying to find your way out. When the movie ends and you have to go home. And that was the end of that?
Do you blame yourself for what happened?
No. And that's baffling to me, you know. She leaves me because of my obsession with some filmmaker. It should probably piss me off, right? Except I was strangely excited that I had all this time for myself.
To do what?
To look for these people.
Back then, it looked like teenage rebellion. Why else would a bunch of girls run away from school and kill themselves?
What do you think of it now?
Some people are made of things others have trouble believing in. You know that. Those girls were two bright ideas in a world that kept freedom out of its way. How many people can you say that about?
What's the point, dog? They lost their lives. It was meaningless.
See, that's the problem right there. You think in films everything's supposed to mean something? Imagine living like that. It's exhausting and frustrating that you can't really blame God or the government. Remember Sally used to talk about someplace safe, away from all this?
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that's an insight right there. They knew something we don't seem to know.
Which is what?
That this isn't the place.
What people? Who are these people?
People from his films?
I don't understand.
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
Do you ever watch a movie or read a book and think about where the people in them would be today?
Sure. Once in a while, maybe.
Yeah, so that's how it all began, really. Except I started looking for these people. I wanted to know what happened to them. Because I wasn't interested in my life anymore. I was interested in theirs.
I don't rent this out anymore.
Why is that?
Haven't you noticed how all the good stuff ends? The story never comes to an end. Some of the people in it come to a rest. I can't rent it out because I'm not in the story anymore.
May I?
Go ahead. clicked a lot of my pictures too, with no film in it. That devious girl.
Do you think they were lovers?
No. I think they were much more than that.
Do you think they were lovers?
No. I think they were much more than that. Do you see these tales? Some of them seek each other out. Like this big one here. Two of them probably bled into each other. Damage seeks damage.
He was leaning against that wall as against everything.
Do you relate to their suicide?
It's not the death I relate to. It's the kind of life they chose not to lead.
And what's that?
They couldn't let someone else make their choices for them. Granted, they killed themselves, but what if they hadn't? Someone else would have done it to them. You satisfy the world and the world satisfies you.
Do you have any friends?
You don't have to psychoanalyze me. I'm being honest and it's troubling you because you're not used to that. So let's just say there's something wrong with me, right? That's more convenient.
Oh, so you're judging me now?
No, I'm judging the people you've known.
Come on, stop romanticizing. Everything isn't fiction.
All right, so let's just keep everything pathetic. How's that working out for you guys?
It's interesting how you say you guys. I'm sorry, let's just skip that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did speak to someone. I guess you could call him a friend.
Do I think about what?
Not the first time.
Why are you asking me?
Well, I keep going back to the film and couldn't stop wondering if you ever got back in touch with her.
You're insane. I mean, sure, we did it a few more times. But that was a long time ago. Theresia Joseph was a good fuck. She's a married woman now. Almost every Theresia Joseph gets married, and that's that.
I guess what I'm really asking is if you ever had feelings for her.
You have a girlfriend?
Not anymore. I wanted to know if it's possible being in love with two women at once. Is it possible?
In different ways, yes.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
So, have you slept with anybody after you broke up with Sarah?
This one time, yeah.
And how was that?
It was okay. Didn't mean anything.
So then, would it be fair to say that you and Sarah were sexually incompatible?
What? No. Jesus, what's the matter with you? It was more than that. It had to be more than that. I mean, looking back, I'm surprised we could stay together for so long. But no, what am I saying? I miss her. Even though that sounds really daft right now.
It's because you were in love.
A lover is someone who wants to leave, but can't.
No, I think that's what they say about poets.
So you see why there's so many poems on love.
So, why did you go looking for Rishi?
To be sure if Clara was an exception. It seemed outrageous to me that anyone could let go of a woman like that.
You know, the guy I knew back then wouldn't have let her go. But that was Jairushan back then, you know.
What do you mean?
I mean, there's a point in every relationship where a Radha walks in and a Clara walks out.
Does he miss her?
You need to get laid. I know just the place.
Does he miss her?
We don't talk about it anymore. I'm not sure if he'd like to. I mean, what's the point? If it takes a moment to fall in love with somebody and an entire lifetime to get over her.
So is Radha a compromise?
I wouldn't say that. He's happy. I don't know if he's sacrificing euphoria. Tell me something. Why did you bring me here?
You were sitting right there when Jason proposed, Radha. I wanted to be where he was to see if I'd have done anything different.
Would you?
Some people look the most desirable when you see them walk away. Clara had to walk away, man.
Do you want to grab another beer?
Were you looking for someone else in Sarah?
Maybe she was always someone else.
Why? Did she remind you of other people?
She reminded me of Mom, yes. But I liked that about her. That's what I liked the most. She could play mother, companion, friend with so much ease that she was always someone else. I'm not sure if you're following. It was as if she was playing several roles.
And she never became the person that she was playing.
Gosh, no. Sounds terrible when you put it that way.
I'm sorry.
Look, I'm not trying to undermine what a great person she was. She was like a remaining. Like if a disaster were to strike a small town, she's what the remains would look like.
That sounds more like you, really.
Maya?
Yes. Hello.
This is such a fairy tale of a place you've got here.
It is. We like it.
Sharat is
He's working today.
still at the hospital?
All the time.
Thank you, Maya. I don't know why I'm here. I just hope this isn't too much of a bother.
No, not at all. Except that
Sorry, go on.
Except I still don't remember anything from before.
She was always trying to fill some void.
Who? Sarah or Maya?
I'm sorry, we were talking about...
Sarah?
Where were we?
Never mind. Let's talk about Maya.
So that's what forgetting feels like, huh? I keep wondering what would happen to someone like Maya if some of her memory comes back.
Are you suggesting that Sarah, who could have been someone like Maya, is not the person who she is right now?
I can't be sure, can I?
Depends on what you remember.
And what am I forgetting?
That maybe she wasn't playing those roles. Maybe it was you that was making those roles up because you needed more people.
So what are you saying? Are you joining film school?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Where's the chocolate syrup?
I'm making dinner. Don't eat junk now.
So I'm junk and chocolate's junk too.
What?
No, I mean, I don't want to be a hack, you know. Film school can do just that.
Well, go make a film then.
Come on. That's what they say when you won a couple of Oscars and want to piss people off.
This is your problem. You dream of being an artist and then you back off when it starts getting real? So, what are you going to do?
I'll do what I'm good at.
Like what?
Like this? This is my best work right here. Sometimes I get the feeling that I'm the sickness itself. That there's really no rest of me that it's spreading to.
Hey. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
So, Sarah wasn't the problem, was she?
Look, I know this is a strange thing to happen to someone.
It's the strangest thing to happen to anyone. I mean, how can you not trust your instincts? None of these people exist in the real world.
Would the moon not exist if you don't look at it?
Maybe I had a different life before the accident. We all probably had different lives before.
Sure. Do you still teach at this school?
Sorry, what was that?
I was asking if you still teach at the school.
Oh, yes. It's vacation now, so there's not much happening. Hey, how did you find this place?
Well, I had a vague idea because I watched the film again. Checked to the hospital, just to be sure.
I do remember, Narendran, if that's what you came here for.
I couldn't believe it. She knows she was married to someone else before the accident. She's probably known this for a long time.
And does that bother you?
Does that bother me? Yes. To think that your whole life depends on what you remember is scary enough. What bothers me more is how you can pretend what you remember.
Sharat and I are happy. I don't think you can call that pretend.
Sorry, that's not what I...
People always talk about how difficult it is to remember things. A birthday, the name of a street, a phone number. No one ever talks about what it takes to forget. There are things you have to forget to carry on living.
How can you bear it?
How can you bear it? Doesn't it bother you? Of how real you can make her?
I don't know what you're saying.
You empathize with me because none of this is real. So the pain isn't really painful. There's no loss because no one really
No,
loves.
that's not true.
Know what they say about the breeze here? It's the past trying to find you, calling out to you. Do you remember what happened to you?
Okay, that's enough.
you stay longer?
I gotta go. There's some stuff I gotta do, you know.
Where are you headed?
Down south, I'm meeting this friend. She used to teach at the school.
This is Alice, right?
You know her?
Alice from the short story? Sure, I know her. She stayed here once. This was a long time ago, though.
How is she, Doc? Do you have a number? Anything?
No, we don't have records from back then. She was wonderful, though. A little melancholic. I remember she always felt she could have been written differently.
Written differently?
You see, the moment a character is written into life, it becomes a person, like you and me. It starts to have a mind of its own about the story, how it unfolds, and so on. In real life, you can call it fate or destiny and sort of get away with it. But in fiction, no one knows what the hell is going on. We have more trouble dealing with life than you. Bring that girl of yours if you ever decide to come again. She's your safe place. You should be with her. No, I'd really like to believe that you'd find some kind of closure in whatever it is that you're trying to do. But you need to go back to your life. Go home.
Time to leave.
Just don't get too used to leaving.
Women are like places.
Watch your step, man.
You leave them all, man. You keep leaving them. So you forget how to stay.
Maybe Rishi was right. It's better to leave before you love.
And trust me, you don't want to stay.
I'm not too sure about this.
Come on, man, you're gonna love her.
I'd rather not.
What?
Rishi, if you haven't noticed, I just got out of a relationship. This is...
Well, perfect then. Meet the shipwreck. Elizabeth Bailogaran. Come on, you haven't forgotten that bastard, have you?
Elizabeth. Sophia's sister?
Don't finish it, okay?
Did you do it?
That wasn't my first thought.
What was your first thought?
There was a lot of hatred for some reason. Sex was a good alternative. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ലേ?
There could be a song about nights like this, you know. Just that I can't think of any.
Did you hear that?
Are they crying or celebrating?
What's the difference?
How did he recognize me? Do I look the same?
I'm still dazed, to be pretty honest. Never thought I'd see you again.
Why is that?
He's probably worried what's gonna happen to you in that house.
I didn't know anything for a long time. Sophia never told me.
How did you find out?
Daddy raped your sister. That's all she said. I never saw her again, not at least in the same way.
What is a girl like you?
Doing in a place like this? What are any of us doing here?
I don't mean to pry.
You don't mean to pry? That sounds so funny after you fuck me, no? Rishi got me here. He walked up to me one day in college and asked me if I wanted to get out. He's weird that way, you know?
How does he know you?
He's always looking out for new talent, isn't he? What?
He calls you the shipwreck.
And what are you, my lifeboat? Tell you what, he did it to me as well. My father. He had sex with me. That was the last time I saw him.
You say that like you enjoyed it.
He died halfway through. Was a heart attack. Why wouldn't I enjoy it?
How would you describe your relationship with your parents?
Not much, really. Mom died when I was quite young. Dad wasn't really around. I guess that was his way of dealing with it. I'm not complaining, I was taken care of.
Do you miss your mother?
I miss being held. Being told it's going to be okay. To feel less alone for a while.
Less alone.
Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting.
What?
Yeah, except you have lesser facial hair and I'll probably never make it as a janitor.
I'm so pissed that you could not think about a female protagonist.
You said name one.
Okay, what else?
There's Dead Poet Society, there's The Clash, there's Freedom Writers.
Freedom Writers was about her and the whole college.
You know, I think the whole boy-woman relationship gets a little shaky on screen. Hang on. Look at Notes on a Scandal. Both of them enjoy it, the others have a problem. The Reader. Kate Winslet wants to have a shower with the boy. How adorable and hygienic, right? Except not, because women on screen have the moral conditioning of a housefly.
You're much more of a jerk than you look. I can't believe I was your teacher.
It's the only thing about school I enjoyed, Mrs. Robinson. Do you see that? What do you see?
Girl on top of a boy?
a unicorn stuck in a tree trunk.
Pervert. Your heart's pounding. It's noisy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put it down, please? I can't sleep.
I can put it away.
Aww. You don't have to do that.
What's that?
The Eskimos kiss with their nose.
Unicorns?
Butterflies, they kiss with their eyelashes.
And you?
I'm doing the best I can. This is home now. How did you know I'll be here?
Somehow, I couldn't picture you anywhere else, especially after what happened.
And what do you think happened?
That everyone lost out.
This way. I keep thinking about everything that happened to me. It was like it was happening outside of me. Like I had nothing to do with it at all. I completely hated myself for it. You can either do that or be completely honest with yourself.
Which is what?
That all of it had to happen. Except I wish Ravi wasn't involved. I was like a mother to him. Whether Thomas gets that or not isn't going to make a difference anymore.
Every day begins by looking for her.
Are you gonna see her again?
I don't know. Jesus, why not this time?
You know, I've been drinking about you.
Mm-hmm. And what do you drink?
I drink. Think once you're done with all this, you should move to the countryside with me.
What?
And once you come, we'll spend the nights in the villages, rise early, go to the vineyards, and see whether we've bloomed.
I should have told her that maybe sex is just an excuse for two people to look at each other deeply. Instead, I said, sounds great.
You're starting to like me, aren't you? Stop. Stop right there.
I'll miss you. I can promise you that.
Better than being with me. Wouldn't it be better? I mean, I'd be wrecked if you're in love with me today and then just stop doing so for no real reason.
I never stopped loving Sarah, you know.
I know. But you can never love her as much as you miss her. It's not your fault. That's just the way it is.
Your hands. feel different.
It spent a night with you. That's the thing. The body never forgets what it's been through.
Look, I know terrible things have happened. But you don't have to do this to yourself. You can still get out.
Who says I want to?
Maybe you'll get tired of it.
Maybe. You know what I'd do? I'd wear a nice white dress and just vanish. And what are you gonna do when you get tired of all this?
I won't. Will I?
Just before he was gonna come inside me, Daddy's eyes were red, like they were bleeding. He looked like a vulture after a good meal. And I remember thinking to myself, that must be Sophia's blood after he was finished with her. It went to his grave.
My mother used to tell me there's a lot of light in everyone. You just have to be there for when they shine. The truth is that only some of them manage to keep the moths away. Only some of them.
You should stick to goodwill hunting. I like the way it ended. They both found their place. Not everyone gets a second chance.
Where do people go when they die in films?
That's a mystery here too. I'm not sure if they die though.
Do you think you'd be better off outside?
Absolutely. It's exhausting going through the same disaster over and over again. A film is redundant. It's impossible to live like that. I'm not sure if you noticed. Ravi used to wear a lot of off-whites. They say it's a color of abandonment.
Really? What's the color of memory?
Grey? No, seriously. Some people choose the past because they fear every other period. You find it easier holding on to memories because it takes a lot more to live in the present, here and now.
I'm going to think about that. No, I really am.
You should call her.
Call who?
The one who's not giving you those pimples.
Jesus, you're impossible. Why is film redundant? If Alice forgives Thomas, won't that change the way she's written? Isn't that what she's always wanted? But the real question is, can he forgive himself? How do we forgive ourselves for all that we've become?
Sir! Sir! Evening, sir. Everyone, girls? Nice. Kerala girls, sir. What? Sir, nice. Local. Lady girls, sir. Full enjoy, sir. Sir, powder. Powder, powder, sir. Yeah. What want, sir? Coke, weed, mushroom, Bombay black, ganja, everything, sir.
I'm actually looking for someone who used to live here.
You know one drug.
I'll buy some. Tell me, there should be a restaurant down there, isn't it? Some local guy ran it.
A big story, sir.
What's that?
Sir, owner, uncle. Uncle go jail. Police custody, PC.
So what?
Busy time. Tourist. I go, sir. I tell, sir. Come, come. Sir, you take picture, sir? Sir, beach picture, sir. Sir, I have cottage room. Sir, come. Whole story, sir. 80s Kovalam. Full of drugs. Lots of money. Some lucky, some lost. Uncle made money. Lots of money.
Jeevan.
Yes, yes, correct. Uncle come 1960 with hippie, making loads of money. But all gone. One day, everything gone. Fabian, that Satan. Fabian, suicide in uncle's house. Uncle go jail 5 year. 5 year jail. God, very clever. Fabian in same jail. He knows see uncle, uncle see him. Uncle wait. One day, Uncle Fabian run from jail. Uncle finish, kill Fabian. Bring dead body to jail. Happy ending.
They say Jeevan had the most serene smile you'd ever see on someone. It was as if God had finished the work in him.
What's your biggest fear?
Being forgotten, I guess. When I was in school, I used to sit and think about whether they declare a holiday if I died suddenly. I just had to know if it would make a difference to anyone.
Why? Did you feel neglected?
No, it wasn't about attention. It's depressing to think that the world can go on without you.
Did you ever reach out to your father?
Reach out.
You know what I mean.
I think Mom was more available dead than he was while still alive. I don't miss them as much as I miss having a home.
You can't make homes out of human beings. You have to let go.
And hold on to what? Dream the other night. Not sure where I was, but a phone just kept ringing endlessly. And then, just like that, it went silent. Dead silent. So that's when I answered, and it was you. We spoke for a while, I guess, but when you hung up, it started ringing again. Louder and louder and louder until I finally woke up. Weird. Hello?
Hey.
Won't you tell me where you are?
I'm looking at this incredible view. Except you're not in it. So it's not much to look at, really. Maybe this is too late. And I really don't know if this will make sense to you. Or even matter to you anymore. I miss you more than you'll ever know. And I've ended up here for no particular reason. Like everything else in life. It's raining here. The ink on this postcard is starting to spread on your absence. So when you get this, please come home and tell me a story that begins with us holding hands.
Isn't it strange that you haven't told me your name yet?
Sarah?
If you turn back, you're going to lose me.
Is this real?
No.
What is this, from a movie?
Tell me how this ends.
I don't know. I don't want to know anymore. Just come back.
If you doubt this, I'll disappear. You know that.
I'm not. I'm just looking for you, Sarah. If I loved you for just one moment, let this be it. There's nothing without you. Not even me. How are you feeling?
What do you mean?
What's your biggest fear?
That you're lying to me right now?
Why?
Because we don't believe in the same reality?
And what reality is that?
One where I don't actually have a dialogue with a fictional character.
Let me ask you something.
Sure.
Do you ever talk to yourself?
Sure. But I'm a real person.
Relax, I'm just asking. Do you?
Yeah?
Do you agree that you feel different today from yesterday?
Maybe.
So what happens to the person who felt differently yesterday?
It's same person, different state of mind.
Wouldn't you say the same thing about a real person and a fictional character?
You know Kovalam's secret? You shout, no memory, no echo.
Come on, slow-mo.
Clear.
You always end up in the middle of a story. There's no real beginning. Something happens and that becomes the beginning.
Come, come. Come. Except that's not Sarah, is it? You can't even remember her face, can you? It's Fabian's girlfriend from the film, you fucking lunatic!
What happens now? What the fuck happens now?
I don't know. It's your story, isn't it?
That's how Sarah would have looked. That's how the girl you love looks when she kills herself in a movie. And it's really this recollection of her face that interests me. Not just her face, but all the faces I've been obsessing over. All these years. What happens to a story once it's told?
സ്വപ്നം കാണുവാണോ? ദാ ഫ്രണ്ട് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. എന്താ കയ്യില് പൂവൊക്കെ?
എലിസബത്ത് വന്നിരുന്നു.
എന്താ ഈ കുട്ടി തനിക്ക് വാടിയ പൂ തരുന്നേ?
വാടിയെന്ന് അവൾക്ക് അറിയില്ലല്ലോ.
വരൂ.
Because you're never fully aware of a story while you're in it. Everything happens as if for the first time. It's when you tell someone that it becomes a story. And you tell it enough until it all becomes something that never happened. What survives is your distorted, edited memory of things. It all becomes fiction. Even the truth of it. And you wonder all along if you've made your whole life up.
Why do you think he talks to you? Because he believes that you don't know anything about him. That's why.
Be honest with me, Doc. Is he going to be okay?
I hope so.
Hope so. Hope so. You're his doctor, for God's sake.
Look, you've been coming here for so long. I don't have to tell you. We're doing everything we can. But every time he wakes up, he resets to a different story.
Why? Why wouldn't he remember my face if he remembers me?
സംഭവിച്ച കാര്യം പോലും അവൻ സിനിമയായിട്ടാണ് ഓർക്കുന്നത്. Because none of his memories are real. He's made up a story of guilt because he feels responsible for losing you. And for that story to work, he makes these things up.
It's my fault. I wanted time apart. I shouldn't have.
Oh, it's not. You couldn't have saved him. ഞാൻ മുമ്പേ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ. It's a condition. He's haunted by things that never happen.
He used to say that about movies. So, what do I say to him?
സ്ഥിരം പറയാറുള്ളതൊക്കെ തന്നെ. We need to go with what we have.
Worst case scenario?
Worst case scenario, he won't recognize you. Why are you doing this, Sarah?
Because it hurts like hell to be the one who remembers.
Hi.
Hey,
Am I looking for you?
remember me? I'm your someone.
Have you come to see me? Sarah,
Yeah?
have I told you about her?
Maybe you should just forget about her.
You know what I've been thinking?
What's that?
How do you get over someone you can't remember? So what happens now?
I don't know. This is your film, isn't it?